Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And some concerns caused him to slip to the 5th round. I guess if you're him, the good news is you kind of flew under the radar. Maybe expectations are low. You can come in and prove something.
And a lot to prove because those off-field concerns that creep in on you, you want to prove that they're all wrong, that they don't matter, that you are a much better player than what people picked you.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, and this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Chicago! Taylor Gabriel, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script because so many teams script their opening sessions. And whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be brought out by their Pro Bowl QB in his 7th year now in the Emerald City. It's Russell Wilson.
So knowing the style of offense that Seattle favored or has favored during Russell Wilson's time there, raise your hand if you thought you'd see him lead the league in touchdown passes.
My hand's down right now.
That's what I thought. He only had 21 in 2016, so we didn't see that part coming. The Seahawks missed the playoffs for the first time in Russell Wilson's tenure last season, but expect that to change going forward.
Yeah, 34 touchdown passes last year on the heels of the 21 you mentioned the season before. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Penny, the first down carry. And Hill running right through it. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge, getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined it.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Buying time to his left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. They run. This is Cohen. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the 1st down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Now it's Baldwin. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Wilson, and it's complete to Antonio Gates. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on
You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now it's Wilson. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they'll get this down to the 10. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route against zone.
And he will not be denied. Into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks. Rashad Penny with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cullen. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Trubisky flush to his right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the 1st quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them. Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 9 catches, 99 yards. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation...
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. Trubisky. They'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground field goal range. And it'll be intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a number 1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
One of the surprises of the first round, the Seattle Seahawks selecting running back Rashad Penny out of San Diego State. Highly regarded, but most people thought he would go in the second round.
But he did have an incredible senior year at San Diego State. Over 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns.
He resembles Marshawn Lynch in build, but has the ability to take it the distance as well. Had 7 kick returns. During his career, San Diego State for touchdowns.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Right side catch. This is Gates. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now Rashad Penny, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now it's Penny. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense.
Looking for his tight end Gates, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. He's at the 30, 10, and they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march a field. And last wild first half. to Soldier Field following this short break. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Trubisky on 1st down. Gets it to Bellamy outright. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Over the middle, that's taken in by Bellamy. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you're talking about.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he's got it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And Parkey's kick is good. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Steps away to his left. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. So we've come upon halftime with the visit Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. where it was the visiting Colts who were able to pick up the road victory. 28-10, the final. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Detroit Lions. T.J. Jones, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, see what's happening with the Bengals. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game, as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way to about the 35-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he will find his man on the outside. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Trubisky will throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. And this is complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's go.
They try again with Cohen. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
That's caught left side by Bellamy. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Trubisky now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. They go play action. Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown. Chicago. Anthony Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears are in for 6. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawks offense now getting set to go again. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the third quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, there weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the Surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. Here's Wilson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The result, a 1st down as the quick slant gets him 14. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly ded, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that. So
the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And his pass, incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And they call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Kyle Fuller there defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. That is incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And that's incomplete. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 more there, and another 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Let's go, let's go.
Trubisky to throw again. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky, and the Bears will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time this unit...
Complimentary football. football. Offense take care of the defense. Defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson fighting through pressure. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Throwing is Wilson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down. I like the reasoning. It's too far for a field goal, and it's too short to really get a big field position edge on a punt. Let's go for it. And sure enough, it's the ground game that's able to convert for him on 4th down.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now it's Wilson, and that's complete to Gates. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Run it. Back. 14. Run left.
Now it's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. This is Cohen. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky, and he's got Miller. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's Carson. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Hasn't had his best game running the football here tonight, but, hey, that's a critical spot right there to convert on 3rd down, and he did it.
And the lights are shining just a little bit brighter right now, aren't they? You remember the beginning of the game? If he gets this first down, everybody's happy. That's cool. But here, that was critical, and it really energizes them.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now a timeout coming in here defensively, as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going to throw deep for the end zone, and that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Bears will add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Parkey with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And now running right through it. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Wilson. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Here's Wilson to throw. And just shutting him off there. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
To throw is Wilson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
the speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Wilson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Wilson now. Back to the air on second down. And his throw here is incomplete. Antonio Gates, the veteran tight end, was the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't earn. This one, he'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not in a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Chicago, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.